Hello, everybody. My name is Steph Simpkins, and I am a life coach for good girls. I've been trying to get a video out for months and having a terrible time getting myself to do it. So today, it's rainy out, I'm a little sick, and we're recording on QuickTime. You gotta start somewhere. So if the audio isn't great, or my voice sounds funny, or everything is super blurry, let me know. We'll do better next time. But for now, here we are. And we're here because I have something important to say. And I have a story, I think, that illustrates perfectly how people feel about Valentine's Day. And I know even just saying those words, like half of you in my mind just recoil and hiss, and the other half sigh wistfully. It's a really polarizing holiday. And I think that's kind of weird, don't you? I mean, it's at its core, it's love, right? We shower those we love with our affection or our gifts or our time. Just loving on the people we already love a little more. And it sounds super simple when I say it like that, but it's a holiday that is loaded, locked and loaded with expectation. And yeah, I have a really great story. At least I think it's great. I was at the gym the other day, and I just overheard two women talking. One of them had a birthday coming up, and she wanted her husband to take her out the weekend before. Her birthday fell sometime midweek. It wasn't a good time, so she wanted to go out with him on, sometime over the weekend. She got her eyelashes done. She had hair extensions in. She looked super nice. And not only did he not take her out, but he went out for a guy's night. And, her friend that she was sitting with kind of recoiled in horror, like, what? What did you say? Nothing. I didn't want to be that girl. She didn't want to be that girl. And I don't blame her. Nobody wants to be that girl. So she said nothing. And just to skip a little bit, eventually she got up the courage or the anger to call him and let him know how she felt and what she wanted. And he reacted immediately. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Come hang out with us. We'll all go hang out somewhere. No, she didn't want to do that either. It was too late. Her hair extensions were out. Her makeup was off. It was just too little, too late. And as she told her friend, she didn't want to be that girl again, because she was sure that her husband had already told his friends how angry she was, and so she didn't want to show up and have everyone know that she was angry. That girl. That girl. So there are a couple of things going on here, but of course, the big one is that, not that she wanted her husband to take her out. That's fine. Why not? That sounds like a reasonable request. But what she expected of him were three things. First, she wanted him to notice that she looked really pretty. Second, she wanted him to understand, to notice she looked pretty and recognize why she looked pretty. Her birthday was coming. And then figure out from there what he was supposed to do about it. She looks nice. Oh, it's her birthday soon. Oh, I'm supposed to take her out. I'm laughing only because I recognize this situation. And if you hear it from someone else, it does sound ridiculous. How is someone supposed to do all of those things? All of them in the right order at the right moment. But I think a lot of us have done these things before. Expectation without communication. I want you to know why, to know what, and to know how, without any prompting from me. And then I'm going to be really upset when you don't figure it out by yourself at the right time. And even if you try to fix it, I'm still going to be upset because now I'm that girl. Ugh. Like I said, I don't blame her. And I know I laughed because it's funny, but it's also horrible. We don't want to be that girl who has needs, wants, desires, preferences, and learned somewhere that communicating them is not okay. But still understanding that those needs, desires, preferences don't go away just because you don't communicate them. They're still there. You still want things. You still prefer things. And you're just not supposed to communicate them. And you can blame a lot of people. It's often a family heirloom. If the grown-ups around you acted that way, that's how you think you're supposed to act. It could be from the media you consume. It could be society at large. Wherever you got it, it sucks. And it's not just that girl either. Guys are not exempt from this. Traditionally, there are a few areas of life that men are not supposed to have opinions or preferences. I think relationships, especially romantic ones, are one of them. They're supposed to give, not get. They're supposed to be the white knight. Need nothing in return. It's all very, it's all very genuine. They're basically a martyr. And that sucks too. We all need, we all want, and not just a little, not just a tiny bit every once in a while, regularly. And yeah, sometimes the way we want it. That's okay. The problem is, of course, is then if you decide not to be that girl or that guy, you become the girl or guy whose relationship is based on this expectation without communication. You hint, you drop hints, you leave notes. Everything's very passive. And your partner, bless them, may try to figure all this stuff out, and maybe they figure it out at least half the time, and that's great. But overall, this creates resentment on your behalf because they can't freaking get anything right? How come they never do what I want? How come I never get what I want? How come it's always about them? Maybe because they don't know. And maybe they're desperately trying, but they have no idea how, because they're not asking you, because now they're afraid to ask you. And this is a dance. It's not all that girl or that guy's fault. Nothing is created in a vacuum. But you want them to figure it out by themselves. And by not communicating, you get resentful because they always screw up. And they get resentful because even if they're trying, they're going to fail eventually in some way. And that gets frustrating. And that creates distance. And then they believe they can never make you happy. And you start to believe the same. You're unhappy. And you don't know why. And you don't know how to get out of it. Because you're constantly hoping some external force will swoop in and just do it all right. And it'll be amazing. It'll be everything you've always wanted. Without your input. If someone can do that for you, like read your mind without you telling them, you'd be a little creeped out, I think. I would. I would think I have a stalker. Frankly. So, the challenge is as simple and hard as it sounds. This Valentine's Day, Nice girls, good guys, no hint dropping, no Amazon wish lists, no like clipping out whatever, pasting things on refrigerators, leaving notes in cars, whatever it is. Don't do that. No isolated fantasies. Don't sit somewhere by yourself and think about the perfect Valentine's Day and just be like, oh man, it'd be so nice if that happened. Don't do that. Not this time. This time, at a good time, which is not right after work or right before work or right before bed or right after you get up. Sometime in the chill hours, grab a beverage with your boo and talk about together what you want this holiday and any other day. It doesn't have to be a heavy conversation. It doesn't have to be a recap of all the past failures. It doesn't have to be scary, although they might be scared the first time you try to have this conversation. So make it a safe place for both of you. Make sure they know that you want to talk about what you both would like to do together, or like to give each other, or like to do for each other, whatever it is. If it's a love note, if it's a wine tasting, if it's a, Netflix and Cheez-Its marathon, yes, do it. Just don't expect it without talking about it, because that just makes everybody sad. Yeah, that's really all I have for you. Happy almost Valentine's Day. Don't stress about it. And don't forget to do something for yourself too. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you don't get to surprise yourself.